Good evening, guys, and happy Sunday to all of your sunshiny faces. My goodness, guys, I woke up so late today because I got 4 hours of sleep on Christmas Eve night. Christmas going into Christmas Day, 4 hours of sleep, and then last night I didn't go to sleep until about 4 o'clock in the morning, so I ended up sleeping in pretty late today. I woke up about the time the Bears game started, which was like, I think sometime after 1 o'clock. So yeah, I was up pretty late today, but I was, like I said, exhausted. Like, it took a lot out of me yesterday. So I am going to share with you guys today sort of a couple of things I got for Christmas, which I think are super cool. So like I said, I'll share some of that with you guys, sort of to like my big gift, and then the gifts that sort of went around that as well. But I want to get some of this stuff put away. So, and also like start putting some of this stuff together too. So like I said, that's why I sort of wanted to share with you guys. But like yesterday, I didn't even get the stuff into my room until right before I went to bed. So it was all still sitting out in the living room. And then today we ended up, I told you guys too, we stayed up so late last night. We stayed up to watch the first 3 Spider-Man movies, the Tobey Maguire ones, in anticipation for us to go and see the new Spider-Man movie. Jack has never seen the first 3 Spider-Man movies, the Tobey Maguire ones. I actually think maybe he saw the 3rd one, but he never saw the first 2. And me and Matthew grew up watching the first 2 we had on DVD, and we saw the 2nd and 3rd one in the movie theaters. And that they came out when Jack was like not even born yet. I think the 3rd one came out in 2007, so I think he was like 2 years old. And so, but like Matthew, we had them on DVD, so like Matthew like literally grew up saying he wanted to be Spider-Man when he was little. That is how much he was absolutely obsessed with Spider-Man. And so we ended up, like I said, watching those 3 last night, and then watched the other 3, the Andrew Garfield, or the other 2, the Andrew Garfield ones today. We ended up, because I saw the 2nd one, it was weird. I think maybe everybody else went to go see the 1st one in theaters at some point, and I think maybe even the 2nd one as well, or something like that. Matthew said like, oh, I've seen both of them in theaters or something like that, and then my dad was like, I saw the 1st one and then we saw the 2nd one in theaters, so I don't know if he did either. I don't, like I said, I don't know. But I remember when we lost electricity, I think it was my junior year maybe of high school, we lost electricity, and it was really bad. It was out for like several days. It was a really bad like not a tornado, I think it was called a supercell, that actually touched, or not touched down, but like it's like basically like I think the eye or the start of like a tornado without it actually being a tornado or something along those lines. I don't really know entirely what a supercell is, but it happened 2 blocks away from our house in our park, and knocked down tons of trees. Power lines were out. This was probably several days long. Like, I want to say almost close to a week, but again, at least maybe 3, 4, 5 days or something like that. It was several days we were without power. And at the time, my grandma was living with us, and it was also really, really hot the days afterwards. It was probably 90s and something like that, 80s, 90s. And so since my grandma was elderly at the time, we couldn't stay in the house, so we ended up going out to stay in a hotel for, again, I think it was maybe like 3 nights or something like that. So I almost want to say, again, it probably lasted like 5 days that the power was out. And so because of that, like I said, we took her and we took the dogs too, because it was a pet friendly hotel. We stayed there. And so then my parents were like, well, what else are we supposed to do? Like, you know, sit in a hotel room for like 3 days. So we ended up, but we would come back home like sort of during the day. We would hang out sort of at the house sometimes during the day, but again, we couldn't like do anything here hardly either. So like we'd come in, sort of check on the house, hang around, whatever, and then we'd normally wind up going back to the hotel. So, but I remember, I think the 1st night or maybe the 2nd night, the power went out, because it was weird. It was like after, like, it was just down the street too that we stayed at the hotel. It wasn't even that far, but the power was out like on this side of like sort of like the this main busy street. But anyways, we stayed there, and because my grandma was it was just after her stroke, so she couldn't be left alone, and my parents were like, oh, let's go and watch a movie. And so, you know, because it was something to go and do, and they were like, we won't, you know, like, what should we go and see? And everybody was like sort of going down the list, and then they were like, well, maybe we should go and see the Spider-Man movie. And then I was like, well, what are we supposed to do? Like, leave the dogs at the hotel with my grandma? I was like, that does not sound like like a smart idea at all. Like, she's gonna try and leave the hotel room, let them out or something like that. I was like, I'll stay here and you guys can go and see the movie. So they went to go and see it, so I never saw that one. But I know the second one everybody else ended up going to see in theaters for sure. And I remember the exact night that they went to go and see it, but I never saw the first or second one. I saw the second one, it was on TV at some point. I think maybe like 2 or 3 years ago or something like that, maybe longer than that. Remember, I think it was after one of Jack's football games or before it when he was still in youth football, I think. And we ended up like watching it. And other than that, I caught the end of the first one literally just I think like a week or 2 ago. And I never saw the first one other than just like the ending part because it was on TV again, and I was like, we should probably watch those, and I tried to find them, see if we could like DVR them or something, and I didn't see them at any other time, so we just ended up renting those two. So that's what we did today. And we watched those after the Bears game, and I made pasta to go with the meatballs that we did for dinner yesterday, because we just did like Italian meatball and ravioli. So then today I just made spaghetti to go with the meatballs and added some extra pasta sauce, and that was dinner for tonight. And then we also have had leftovers, so everybody's been mainly snacking on the leftovers today. So I'll real quick try and share with you guys too, like I said, what I sort of got for Christmas, my Christmas gifts. I shared with you guys a little bit yesterday, like sort of what everybody else, I think I mainly shared when other people are opening the gifts I got them, like in the dogs gifts and stuff like that too, because they're so cute when they open up their presents. Like Bliss actually like tears her present apart if you wrap it for her, and she will like tear the wrapping paper off, which is so cute. So anyways guys, I'll share with you guys what I got for Christmas. So this right here was sort of my big Christmas gift. This is actually a Bluetooth turntable that I got so that I can listen to some records, because I got, my mom last year was like, oh, we'll get you like a record player for Christmas, and she got me 2 records, I think, like at the thrift store, and then I didn't end up getting a record player, and it wasn't super expensive, so I was like, I'm actually gonna probably buy it myself, and never did. So I put it on my Christmas list this year and ended up getting that. And then my mom ended up finding a whole ton of records because I love jazz music. I love jazz music, and I'm really into like 60s, 70s sort of music as well. Sort of like soul music, maybe a little bit disco sort of music. I don't know, just sort of that era of like the 60s and 70s I'm really into. I also like really early music, like really early jazz. I'm really into almost every decade of jazz, but like I really am, like I said, into that. So I got a lot of jazz records. My mom also found the Annie record because she actually used to have this when she was little, and so and she has several records too from when she was little. I don't know whatever happened to her Annie one, but she said that she had it, and she has like a couple of ones as well. She has, maybe, we have a Bing Crosby Christmas one, and I think she has like Sonny and Cher. I think she has a Smurfs one too, and then there's, I think, a couple that she actually has hanging in her office. I think I shared with you guys when I got when we redid her office, like not last summer, the summer before that. And then 2, to go in my room, I'm going to get this framed, because I was talking to her, I was like, I sort of want to have some type of like wall art to sort of hang in my room. So I thought that was perfect because it matches sort of the color in my room as well. I do, with the like Tiffany blue and then the white, and then I do have like black and sort of more like gray tone accents in my room as well, to represent sort of, again, like the Tiffany box sort of thing. So that's why I felt like that would actually be like the perfect coloring in a black and white photo on my room. And since, again, I'm huge into jazz music, I thought that was perfect as well. So that was what I got. Plus, like I said, I have 2 other records I got, like, I think it was back in November maybe, or October of like last year. And then my mom also has some old ones too. So we've got a lot of stuff we can listen to. Like I said, I got a lot of really fun ones that are all singers and bands and stuff like that I listen to anyway. So that was sort of my big gift I ended up getting for Christmas. And these were a handful of the other gifts I ended up getting as well. I got the Sims 3 movie stuff. I am literally almost done with my Sims 3 collection. I have all of the Sims 4 right now, except for I think like the kits. I just finished, I think like 2 summers ago or something like that, I finished buying the last Sims 2. Like, I've been playing The Sims since The Sims 2 was sort of on its final legs. It was right before The Sims 3 came out, but I started playing during The Sims 2 sort of era, and then started playing The Sims 3, and I never finished my whole collection. I'm still without a few stuff packs, I think, are the only thing I don't have. I know this was one of them, and I think there's 1 or 2 other ones, plus a couple of the worlds too. So that is why I had these on my Christmas list along, and these are actually getting really hard to find, like, new. And then also too, some of the game guides as well. So I asked for that. I got the late night one. And then also too, because Jack has the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, but I think his is like digital or something like that, so I can only play it on his Switch. And I got a Switch last year for Christmas that I do use a lot, but I don't have a lot of games for it. And because a good portion of the ones are either like ones Matthew or Jack has bought, and they like game share with each other, but you can't game share with a third person, so I don't get any of the ones that they have bought. So that's why I asked for a lot of the like my own, you know, games. So I got the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild along with the like DLC expansion pass as well. So that's again to sort of go with my gift from last year. And then Jack's gifts to me were, I have one of the Fallout Vault Boy bobbleheads. This one's the medicine one, which is so cool because it comes in 2 pieces. It like snaps together, the like syringe sort of. It's really cool. I have, I think, maybe the perception one or something like that too that I got a while ago. And I want to get my shelves done and finished, the ones that we found up in the attic, because I want to have like a display for like my gaming sort of things and like these kind of, you know, stuff. And then also my Legos that I have put together, because that's another thing Jack bought me. I got the Spider-Man Miles Morales one, along with my parents ended up getting me the Iron Man one of those as well. I think I got 2 last year, or maybe 3. I think Jack got me another one last year, and then I got 2 or the bigger ones, and then the year before that I got 2, and I only put 1 of them together so far because I'm like, I have nowhere to put these and I don't want to leave them out somewhere for like the pieces to get lost or separated. So that's why I want to have like a little display shelf for them. So that's why I need to get those painted, the shelves, so I can put them up in my room. My idea would be to have maybe one up at the top and then one a little bit lower, and then have that picture in the middle there, and then also to do ones over this and then like over my desk too, over on that side. So that would be wonderful if I could do that, and I think I have enough shelves to be able to do it. And if not, I might do one like randomly like over my door or something like that, just for like extra things too, because like these have all of my books on them. That has just all books and other random stuff in them too. I should probably get some of the stuff a little bit more organized, but like I said, I have wall space in here. I just need to utilize it maybe a little bit more. So anyways, that was, like I said, what I also got. And then Matthew too sent us, I think I was telling you guys yesterday, sent us on this huge scavenger hunt sort of thing with all these riddles and stuff like that. It wasn't like a scavenger hunt really, but it had like all these riddles. He duct tapes and gorilla tapes these boxes. He's done this now, I think it started one year with a that commercial where it was like, oh, got you $1, because he didn't have like really money for gifts or anything like that, so he thought it would just be funny to wrap a box with like 8 layers of tape, 8 layers of like wrapping paper, and then put that like printouts inside with just $1. It was the most funniest thing ever. And then he started to expand it a little bit more. Now it's started to evolve to these like riddles and all of these like, you know, things that he does. So he actually bought a whole separate lockbox just for this like little treasure hunty sort of thing in there. So it was funny. He made us also open like 2 different boxes. The first one had putty that he just has actually upstairs, that he was like, no, you can have that actually, I don't want it anymore. And then this was all of the like sort of directions and stuff like that that was in there. And then the final gift was actually the Lego Hobbit game, because me and Jack are actually trying to get through all of the Lego games. We have a bunch of them, but we don't have all of them, so that's why I put down some of those on my Christmas list as well. And then also too, some of the like stocking stuffer things that I ended up getting. I got some Ghirardelli chocolate. This packed. Literally just came from my Jewel haul a couple days ago. I told my dad just to put it in a stocking or wrap it or whatever. And those were also from a Jewel haul too when we got those real cheap. Everybody got one of those. I got some earrings, some candy, headband, little post-it notes. This is a little recipe. So, you know, people ask me for recipes, or if I ask them for recipes, I can use recipe cards. And then I got some Santa socks. I got this little bee pollinator thing as well. Like, oh, this says zinnias. That's what it was. I was trying to figure out, I was like, what are these ones on here? I was like, they sort of look like cone flowers. I can't really tell they're zinnias. So I can plant some of those. And then I got a little bracelet as well. And then my dad told me, he was like, I bought 3 pairs of these. One was supposed to be for my mom and 2 were supposed to be for me. And he was like, did you get 2 of those? And I was like, no. And then my mom didn't get any. He's like, so there's 2 pairs floating around somewhere else. So I don't know. I guess I might be getting another one of these too. But these are like my go-to right now because you guys see I'm actually wearing a pair. I've got 2 pairs of these. And my socks, I wear like athletic socks. And so they're thin a lot of times. And my feet get freezing cold in the winter time. I love them for summer. I can still wear socks in the summer without overheating my feet in, you know, like I said, like lightweight socks. But in the wintertime, I need something else because the floor, like our tile floor, it's freezing cold. So that's why I love these, because they're not really like slippers, but I can just wear them around sort of more like socks and just wear them over my socks. So those are, like I said, what I also got. And then this was so cool, guys. My mom sort of bought like a lot of the like Playmobil because I told you guys how I used to have this when I was little. I sort of started like wanting to get back into collecting it a little bit because all of the pieces that I had from when I was little are considered vintage, which I feel like is so totally wrong. I bought like the ones that were still out. So like this one was probably one I would have probably had when I was little. Bottom is where they normally have the date, so you can actually find out like what year. I think that they were like produced or manufactured or something along those lines. I think maybe the year that it actually came out. So this one was from 1990. This probably would have been one that I actually had when I was little because I sort of started getting them when we still lived at our old house, so I was maybe like 4 or 5 years old, something like that, 3, 4, 5 years old. And so again, this was probably like 90s ones would have been ones that I had, but these ones are considered vintage now. This one is actually really old. This one is probably from the 70s. This one says 74. So again, that's around the time that those ones were. I think the newest one was like 2007 was one of these ones. But most of them are like, I think from either early 2000 or like the 90s. And so I wanted to sort of get back into like collecting the pieces for some of the ones that I don't have, the sets and stuff like that, or just also like the random pieces and ones as well. So I told my mom that, and I was like, I so totally want to, like, I don't collect a lot of things. I would love to like collect the Playmobil because this was such a huge thing. I think I was telling you guys when me and Matthew were little, because we loved the fact that like I could play like the princess ones or whatever. He could play like the, like pirate ones or knights or, you know, like whatever. And it was something that we could play together. And it was just because, you know, I don't have any sisters, so I have 2 little brothers. And so we couldn't play like Barbies together. I didn't want to play Ninja Turtles with him. Playmobil is always something that we could play together. And I just always thought that was the coolest thing ever. I love Playmobil. And like I said, it has such a like close spot in my heart. And I just love the like design, the simplicity of them too, and all that kind of stuff. And so I just would love to be like a collector of Playmobil. So I told my mom that, and she got me started with a couple of ones that, again, from sets that I didn't already have. To sort of start like collecting again as well. You know, like I said, in addition to the ones I had when I was little. But I know that there are a ton of pieces that I'm missing to the ones that I had. So again, I sort of have to fill in some of those. But that's what I ended up getting sort of in my stocking as well from them. And then too, I think I forgot to go over here, the Paris Amour Bath & Body Works body lotion, because this is probably my favorite scent. And I think that they're either discontinuing it or close to it, because I really love the body spray, but they don't carry it anymore. They only online. I've only seen the body lotion. I don't even know if they actually have it in stores or only online, but all I can find is the body lotion. So I love this scent. It's, like I said, probably my favorite. So I asked for this as well. And then my mom got me, because again, I guess this isn't going to be the only thing that I'm collecting. My mom got me something that my grandma actually used to collect. My grandma used to collect spoons and salt and pepper shakers. And so we found the box of my grandma's spoons and the attic that she used to collect, and my mom was like, oh, you know, like you can have them if you want them, because she didn't really want my grandma's spoon. She has the salt and pepper shaker, so I was like, yes, I do. You know, like I want to keep those. Like I loved my grandma's spoon collection when I was little. I thought they were just the coolest things. My grandma had ones from all over. So since we went to St. Louis this year, my mom got me a St. Louis one for me to start adding to my grandma's collection, which I felt like was very special, because again, it was something that she was very passionate about in collecting, and everybody would like always buy her a spoon whenever she would go. You know, they would come back from a place or something like that. So since we went there and it was a special place that we went over the summer, my mom got me that to add to, you know, like I said, you know, her collection and now my collection. So those were things, like I said, I ended up getting in my stocking, and I'll show you guys too sort of the clothes I got also. These might look familiar to you guys that saw my haul back on the Sunday after Thanksgiving when we went to Jewel and they had their like Black Friday sale on Bears apparel, and it was supposed to be 50% off. We got to the store with 75% off, maybe because the Bears have not been in such a good season this year, but for whatever reason, hopefully at some point it'll be time to brag and wear, you know, the Bears stuff. So this was one of the things I got. It was that sort of like warm up, sort of like very thick, nice, warm Bears, you know, like sweatshirt, plus the tank top that I ended up getting, but we got them so cheap. Like this was $6. I think this was like 15 or 16 or something like that. So cheap compared to, again, like sports apparel is normally so expensive. Those were really good prices. Then I also got a Justin Fields jersey as well. My mom also got one too, so that we can match. And then, you know, and I only have, I think the only current Bears jersey that I have is a Khalil Mack jersey. I think all the other ones I have are throwbacks. Like I think I have a Devin Hester. I think I have a, I don't know, a couple of other ones, but they're all ones of, you know, like retired Bears. Like I said, I don't have a lot of current Bears players jerseys, so got a Justin Fields, who will hopefully be around for a while, so it's a good thing to wear. I also got this, which was a you know, Chicago Cubs sort of t-shirt as well, and then I also got a Blackhawks scarf and a Bulls tank top, along with Bulls like joggers. All I have is like a Bulls like baseball hat, and mom was sort of poking fun at me the other day. She's like, you're just gonna stay home the whole day and you're wearing a baseball hat? Like, you know, even if it's a bad hair day and you're not going out of the house, like, you know, sort of thing. And she's like, I always know when the Bulls are playing because you always seem to wear that hat. And so she's like, I got you some attire so that you can, and that was one thing I did ask for too, was like Chicago sports team or sports teams that I'm a fan of, you know, like attire. And so she ended up picking out some of those as well. And then I also ended up getting a vintage Notre Dame sweatshirt as well. This one is a pretty old one, actually. I think my mom found on like either Etsy or eBay or something like that. It's not new, but it's again like a vintage one. She also got Matthew a couple of vintage ones for his high school, or I'm sorry, his college, and then also too, I think another one maybe for his fraternity or something like that. So she ended up finding a couple ones, and I was like, that's awesome, because I don't have a lot of sweatshirts that I can wear that aren't just like the football, high school football ones that I've had since Matthew and Jack have been in like youth football. Some of them I don't even think really fit me anymore, but I only have like one or two that I actually like, sort of oversized ones that I actually really like to wear, and I don't wear those when it's really not football season all that often. So I was like, I definitely want more like sweatshirts too, so this was awesome. Along with, I also got an Alabama one. My dad and Jack especially too, I think, sort of poked fun at me maybe a little bit. I'm first and foremost a Notre Dame fan. I think all of us in the house are like, our favorite college football team is Notre Dame, and then after that we are all completely divided. Like Jack likes Clemson, I'm an Alabama fan, my dad is not a huge Alabama fan, and so he used to sort of be, you know, he's not really that much anymore, but he was like, it took a lot for me to buy this for you. So I got an Alabama sweatshirt as well, and I really like it because actually the like hood sort of part too, like the way the neck part of the hood is, I really like that, and it's super soft too, guys. So that was awesome. Plus on top of that too, my mom picked out for me like a puffer jacket, because I only have the really, it's like a really nice jacket. I don't have a jacket that's more like a just like run to the grocery grocery store. I feel super weird all the time, like going to the grocery store if I'm wearing like sweatpants. Like it's like a nice sort of like longer jacket. You know, I don't have like a coat, I guess. That's maybe how I describe the other one. It's like a jacket. I got it, I think like maybe 2-3 Christmases ago or something like that. And I love it. It's just, I want something that I can sort of dress down a little bit when I'm going out in the winter time. So that was another thing I ended up getting as well. And like it doesn't have a hood either. So if I were to go out like sledding or something like that, like I would not wear, I couldn't wear that jacket. You know, I'd have to find something else to sort of wear or just layer up. And I really wanted like an actual like coat sort of. So I got that as well. And then these were a couple of other things my mom picked out as well. I ended up getting this really cute dress. I really like it because of the shoulders. It sort of is one of those that, you know, like hang off the shoulders. Nice long dress, very pretty and detailed. And then I also got a couple different pairs of jeans. I got one pair of the oversized like bell bottom jeans, and which is so funny, guys, because I did find a couple pairs in the attic when we were cleaning out the attic that I had back from when I was probably in elementary school. They still fit me. I think the reason I put them up in the attic was because they were too big for me. And I have a couple that are literally this style from the early 2000s, which are making a comeback now all of a sudden. And again, I had those up in the attic, put them away. Probably like within the last couple of years, I would have just given them to Goodwill or whatever. But no, now that they're back in style, I found a whole bunch of jeans that I can wear along with a couple other pairs my mom ended up getting me as well. These are like athletic, like leggings sort of. And then I also got a pair of these like leopard print ones also to add a little variety to my wardrobe. And then also to this little skirt as well. And then some just like little biker shorts, sort of just, you know, like outside work, you know, sort of shorts, along with 2 shirts. This one, which says easily distracted by birds. You guys know I'm a huge bird lover, and you know, our bird feeders are, I've got a million of those because I love watching the birds. This one is Peace, Love, and Guinea Pigs, and my mom also got a matching one too because it looks just like our little piggy that we adopted this year, Miss Gigi. So that was another one my mom ended up picking out, along with She Asked Jack, this one, which I thought was super cute, from Animal Crossing, because you guys know, like I said, I'm a big gaming nerd. So those were the also, you know, like I said, clothes I ended up getting too. Most of the time I don't really ask for clothes for like Christmas, but I did want some like sweatshirts and stuff like that also for Christmas. And so, and again, like some t-shirts too, because I actually did realize I don't have a lot of t-shirts for wearing like in the summertime either like very dressy, or just like I don't have t-shirts. Like I have a lot of tank tops, but it's almost sort of that too, like in between, like in fall time when I can still wear a t-shirt. I actually realized I don't have hardly any, so I did put some, like I said, mainly like sports apparel stuff down on my Christmas list as well. And there was a couple of things my mom found that were super cute. So and I did have, like I said, a puffer jacket as well on my list too, and you know, that kind of stuff. So my mom said too that she found a sale, so that was why I got some of the extra like jeans and stuff like that, was because she found some really good deals on those. I am so thankful for all the gifts I ended up getting this year. Anyway, so I need to take a shower and get to bed, so I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.